Yo. All right. So this video all came to me. It all started with a dream. I was not gonna post today. Today was just gonna be a regular day, But I had a dream last night, right? And in this dream, it was like a 12-second dream. It was really short, but in this dream, it was a blind man. He was leaned up against a wall. He was talking to me. He was like, I didn't say a word. He said, even I couldn't see it first until God made me see. That was the end of the dream. Dream was over immediately after that. I woke up for a second and then I wrote it down and then I went back to sleep. But later on when I woke up in the day, I was like, God, what does this dream has to do with me? Like, I can already see I'm not, and first for one, I'm not blind, But then I immediately got the thought of like, God has told me to really get into school. I feel like God, my next step in my walk or my path that God wants me to do, he wants me to go into school. But for right now, all God has told me to do was just study. He said, just study, work on it. So you can, he just told me to study right now. And right now, as I started to study, like I've told God that it's too hard. I can't do it. I immediately challenged what God has said. I told him that I can't do it. It's too hard. Or God, give me something else. Let me go into something else, And I kind of just left it at that for a moment until later on today when I walked my dog. Took my dog outside. I walked there and I remembered the story about Zechariah in the book of Luke. And if you guys don't know who that is, Zechariah was the person who the angel Gabriel had a message from God. He was telling him that his wife Elizabeth would have a kid even though she was old. And Zechariah immediately doubted it. He was like, ain't no way this would happen, blah, 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 blah. And he was about to talk himself out of a whole blessing. This is God who has said it. And so not Gabriel. Zechariah was struck with temporary muteness because he immediately started doubting God. So he was struck with muteness until his child was actually born, until what God said actually happened, right? And so that kind of just humbled me once I read that. It humbled me so bad. I actually do got some notes, but it's just I'll read it actually. It goes, in the book of Luke, the angel Gabriel announced that his wife Elizabeth would give birth to a son despite her old age. Zechariah doubted this message and was struck with temporary muteness until his child was born because of his lack of faith. So yeah, because of his lack of faith, God kind of had to shut him up, right? And that's kind of the same thing that I need to do, and for a lot of other people too. We just need to shut up, literally, we need to shut up and just do what God said or watch God work, right? Because I was doubting God this whole time, thinking God is not gonna happen, this and that and that. I'm just giving him all these excuses, and I could have talked myself out of my own blessing. And sometimes the word faith keeps ringing in my head. If you guys don't know the definition, it is the conviction of things not seen. And so I need to have the conviction that even though I don't see it now, that it's gonna happen, right? Or I need to have the faith that my burdens will eventually become my blessings. And so I went back to that dream and I finally kind of made the correlation that just like how the blind man can't see now, I'm that same way. And a lot of people who's watching probably that same way. We can't see it right now. We can't see anything right now. But if we keep having faith and we keep pressing on, and with Jesus, eventually we will be able to see too. And probably not even in the ways that we thought. But I just know for a fact that if I keep going, then the path is going to be coming more clear and clear as I keep walking with God. It goes you don't know where your faith will take you tomorrow, right? Today your faith can have you here, and tomorrow it'll have you somewhere else because God has called it for it to be that way. He's already predestined for it to be that way. And so our lack of faith can keep us shut from our blessings. God has told us to do it. Someone who is all-seeing, all-knowing, someone who knows our strengths and our weaknesses. He's obviously tasked us with these things because he knows that we can do it, right? So if you feel like you're doing something that's impossible, if you feel like you're doing something that it's just impossible, you can't do it, God probably made a mistake, it's absolutely wrong. Don't talk yourself out of your blessing. You got to remember how if God put it on you, he knows you can do it. You don't want to be like Zechariah, who almost talked himself out of his blessings, or who had to become mute literally because God told him something and he challenged it. The Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. We can't lean on our own understanding. Zechariah leaned on his own understanding. See, he thought that from his knowledge, he's man, an old woman cannot get pregnant. That's man's knowledge. But when God says something, it's 9 times out of 10 it's going to happen, right? So even if it seems like it's impossible from where you're currently at right now, God has a way of taking it from 0 to 100 really quick. And so it's just about us preparing ourselves for when God is ready to move. Because when God move, like, we have to be prepared. And so right now it's just like the building block stages and things like that. But yeah, that'll be the end of the video. Until next time, peace.